Hello, friends. Welcome to the second episode of Tailwinds DevOps video series. In this episode, we are going to discuss about blue-green deployment. What is this blue-green deployment? Why do we need one? And how to realize them? And are there any other different variations of blue-green, etc.? So these are the different aspects that we are going to cover in this video. So what is blue-green? Right? When you do a service upgrade, for example, image or a configuration upgrade, what typically one would do is they would shut the current instances or the services that is running and bring up the new services. So by doing so, the time or the delta time after the shutdown and before the services is bought up, there is a drop in traffic. This drop in traffic could be in the order of tens of seconds or probably in minutes. Now, why does this matter to us? It matters simply because the business provides to their customers the availability in terms of 5 nines, 4 nines, or 6 nines, etc. So this availability is calculated based on error budget. Now, when there is a traffic loss in this delta time, you start losing the error budget, which means the promise that you make it to a customer starts reducing. So, in order to be within the given timeline of the SLAs and SLOs and maintaining the error budget, you want to reduce the traffic loss. And that's why you need a blue-green deployment. So, what happens in a blue-green deployment? So, the old version, which we refer as blue, is kept up and running instead of shutting down. Then we bring a parallel version or a new version, we call it green. We make sure the green version is up and running in terms of the pods or the services is running, in terms of it works as expected, etc. etc. Once you have made sure the green version is all good, then we switch over the traffic from the older version, which is blue, to the newer version, which is green. So the green takes over and delete the older version, which is blue. So by doing so, there is still a traffic loss, but this traffic loss is in terms of milliseconds to probably max a second. So this helps in availability of your uptime, which is the error budgets and SLOs in that sense. So this helps for a SaaS company to deploy often without compromising on the availability factor. So this blue-green has typically existed in different worlds too. So I come from a infrastructure background, networking. So in MPLS RSVPT, we call something called make before break. We make a backup tunnel, switch over the traffic, shut down the primary tunnel. So this existed, and the concept is kind of used in a different fashion in the DevOps, Kubernetes, and cloud native world. So there are other factors that one has to consider in terms of blue-green. There's no point applying blue-green for a dev or a test environment. So this makes sense only for a production environment. So therefore it makes sense for pre-prod so that you kind of test it before deploying to production. There is also a different type of deployment type called canary, which, in some sense, the traffic loss is very similar to blue-green, but we'll take that for next video when we talk about canary. Very interesting factor is customers do come to us for an Kubernetes upgrade. I have seen customers really get stuck with upgrade. I've seen customers upgrading from Kubernetes version 1.23 to 1.27, and they've really started night 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock. They had to go from 1.23 to 4, so on to 1.27. When they finally came to 1.27, there was a bug in AWS which did not recognize the corresponding region, and every pod started to fail. This was like 5 in the morning, and they had to wake us up to fix the problem. The issue here is what we are suggesting to the customer is that don't do any upgrades of Kubernetes suggested by the cloud vendors. Every upgrade is possibly closer to break in the system. So instead, consider the current Kubernetes as a blue environment. Create a parallel environment called green environment. Make sure everything is up and running and working. Then switch the DNS from the blue to the green. By doing so, you are taken care of the upgrade very simply and very cleanly. So how can this be made possible? Yes, this only can be made possible through a very good automation system that you have. And that's where you should all come to MajorDomo, and we do help customers solving such complex problems. I'd be very happy if you could drop a comment, and we could probably have a very good discussion and debate on such deployments. Thank you.